Hello writers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra. I share writing tips, writing inspiration, and my creative journey. Today I wanted to talk about how to make more time for writing. Whether you're an aspiring author or you're already an established author, I think that everyone wants to know how to make more time for the things that we love, which is, in this case, writing. The truth is, unless you have a very active and established writing career, it's really easy to let writing fall behind. Let's face it, we're all very busy people, and not only that, we're super distracted in our day-to-day lives, as well as we're very much overstimulated with all the apps that we're on. Writing, much like reading, is really hard in our day and age because we're so used to being overwhelmed and stimulated at all times that anything that takes a bit more effort, a bit more concentration and focus time is actually much harder than it used to be. I remember back in the days, writers were complaining that they spent way too much time on Twitter. Now just figure yourselves now, where everyone is trying to promote and be active on TikTok. It's gotten worse. But don't worry, I have 5 ways to help you make more time for writing. So let's get into it. Way number 1 is to prioritize. Honestly, this one was obvious. It was obvious that I would mention it, but because we think that we are prioritizing writing, but if that was the case, why aren't you writing every day? Why are you scrambling to write something down every single day? It's because everything else has set precedent over writing. It's great to have the intention to write, but it's different to actually set out to write. It's true that we all lead very busy lives, that we have engagements, we have to go to work, we have to do some work, we have to study for school, etc. However, there are little things that we do that prioritize everything else over writing that's not imperative to your living situation. Take it from me, most days I do everything else first, and then at the end of the day, it's midnight and I'm sitting down to write and I can't write a single word because I'm so burned out and I'm so tired, and I'm wondering to myself, where has time gone? And yes, most of that time has been spent doing work, doing freelance, doing videos, making blog posts, writing and doing all the other types of writing that I had to do. But when I monitored my time more, I realized that I actually spent at least an hour on YouTube and at least up to 2 hours on TikToks daily. And those are not just hours where I'm posting or editing videos. Those are hours where I'm like actively consuming other people's content. And yes, consuming other people's content can be inspiring, especially if you want to write and read more and learn more about certain topics. But there's a difference between setting intentional time to research and look at videos versus actually just having it take up your time without you noticing it, and you're aimlessly scrolling and aimlessly being entertained. There's nothing wrong with entertainment, but if you really do want to write, you gotta prioritize it. You gotta maybe put it above seeing friends. You gotta put it above doing other things like watching Netflix or chilling out. Whatever it is that you do day to day, you gotta find that at least half an hour of time to prioritize your writing. And the best thing to do is to prioritize it early on in the day so you get it done, so it's part of one of your main priorities. Whereas if you prioritize it at the last part of your day, then you risk just skipping through it. My second way is to make goals. Making goals is also another way of prioritizing, and it's one of the best ways to prioritize because you can have goals for your manuscript, and they can be daily goals, weekly goals, quarterly goals, and yearly goals, which will help you get that writing done because you have goals, you have concrete goals that you're trying to achieve. You have to see it as if you're trying to get that promotion at work. You literally have to challenge yourself to actually do the thing to earn the rewards of writing. Obviously, in this instance, the first reward would be writing, and then the second instance, it's actually to have a working manuscript where you can take the next step with your writing. I do believe that the more specific you make the goal, the better your chances are to achieve it. Instead of having like a loose goal like I want to or I wish to write a novel this year. Those are very vague goals, and those are goals that are gonna be on the back burner. Whereas if you say I am going to write my novel from February to April, for example. And so you're going to make sure that in February through April, all those days or most of those days, you're going to write X amount of words to get to that finished first draft. And then because you want to write a whole novel and a complete novel, fully edited, then you're going to be like, okay, from May to June, I'm going to revise it the first time. From July to August, I'm going to do my final edits, and maybe in September and October, you're going to query your book and try to find an agent. Now, those are very specific goals. They're very time limited goals, and they're going to ensure that you actually set out and do the thing, set out and do the writing, set out and do the publishing of your book. Another thing is, I think that if you really want to write more and make writing a goal and a priority, you should have like a very minimum word count goal that you have to hit every day, and then your wishful word count goal. So my minimum word count goal is about 500 words, and I usually hit that this year. And then my wishful word count goal is 1,000, and my super hopeful word count goal is anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 words. Now, I know that I write for other things than my novel, so I'm not too strict on myself if I just end up writing about 500 words for my novel, and then I'm writing anyways 500 words up to 1,000 words for poetry, blog posts, resources, etc. Basically, giving yourself a set deadline, a set goal line, is what's gonna get you actually writing your book, because no one else is holding you accountable, so you're the one who has to hold yourself accountable to get to that writing goal. Third way is to find your perfect routine. Now, when I say find your perfect routine, I mean the routine that is perfect for you. I know that there are a lot of writers and a lot of people on the internet like myself sharing their own routine, but that does not mean that it's going to fit your schedule and your routine. Maybe I like to write in bed. Who's to say that you like to write in bed? Maybe you like to write only at the cafe. Maybe you only like to write in the bus. Maybe you only like to write at your desk. Maybe you like to write in loud noises. Maybe you like to write in complete silence or dead of the night or morning. Even if you are a type of writer that writes better at nighttime, don't listen to other people and write first thing in the morning if you know that the only time you get creative is at nighttime. So then if that works for you and you're going to stick with it, then do that. Don't listen to us by any means. If it works for you, you have to stick with it. It's your perfect routine. I'm not the one, and other writers are not the ones writing your novel. You're the one writing it. You're the one who knows yourself the best. So your perfect routine involves your preferred place, your preferred time, your preferred outlet, your preferred, environment, and it's up to you. So if you're a night owl, early riser, if you like writing in different environments, if you don't like writing in different environments, if you like writing at 3 p.m. every day, if you like writing at 2 a.m. every day, it's all up to you, and you gotta find what works the best for you. Where is that sweet spot in time, location, and everything that works so good for you that you're like, yes, I could do this every day or every second day. And that's the other thing. Maybe you're not the type of writer that writes every day. I think that's kind of a myth where everyone's like, oh, you have to write every day. Well, yeah, but at the same time, it's okay to skip a few days if you're not comfortable with writing every day. Maybe you want to take weekends off. Maybe you want to write every second day. Maybe you want to write every Saturday an extra 5,000 words. I don't know. I've seen people on here on YouTube be like, oh, I write 10,000 words every Sunday of the first month. If that works for you, by all means do it. At the end of the month, you're still going to have 10,000 words that you didn't have if you weren't doing that perfect routine for yourself. Now, the fourth way is to time block. Now that you know what your perfect routine is, it's time for you to block out that time, or to really set it in your calendar so you can actually do the writing at your perfect routine time. And in that way, you also know where to add more or less time blocks depending on how you write. So like I said, if you were writing every second day, so the second day maybe you write 1.5 hours, so 1.5 hours, and then maybe the second day, so like 4 days in, you say, okay, I'm gonna write only 1 hour, but then again I'm gonna switch again to 1.5 hours. So you time block your perfect routine and what works for you at the perfect time of the day, and you have already that schedule planned out. So you already know, like say on Sundays when you write the 10K Sundays, you're gonna have to skip some obligations, you're gonna have to skip some gatherings, or you're gonna have to skip brunch or whatever it is, because you're gonna have that scheduled time block. Maybe you say, oh, that one Sunday I'm gonna have that time block, the other Sunday I'm not gonna have a time block, or maybe you're gonna split them, or maybe you're gonna say, okay, Sunday I'm gonna start work earlier or later, etc. So time blocking is actually going to ensure that you actually use that time to do the thing that you promised yourself you would do, which is writing and following your perfect routine. And my last and fifth way is to hold yourself accountable. Obviously, I was going to say this, you know that this was coming. There's no way for you to accomplish a goal if you're not going to hold yourself accountable. The reason why we even do things is because, first of all, we want them. Second of all, we really prioritize them. And third of all, we hold ourselves accountable. That's the only way that people say they go to the gym every day. That's the only way that people lose weight or gain weight or do whatever they want with their lives, because they hold themselves accountable. You don't go to med school and don't hold yourself accountable to study for med school or to pass those exams or to, all those things that you do for med school. I don't know why I use the example of med school, but we'll just stick with that. But all this to say that if you don't hold yourself accountable, how are you going to achieve that goal? Like, we are human, at the end of the day, it's not that we are lazy, but it's that we don't want to face that resistance, and writing is a lot of resistance. Even if you love writing, I swear I love writing. I sit here and I say I could write like every single day, but does that mean that I can actually physically write 12 hours a day and not feel burned out? Or does that mean that like I don't have ADHD anymore because I can sit down and write for 5 hours? No, it doesn't mean that. I have to hold myself accountable. Sometimes I even struggle to like sit down for half an hour and write. I put a word count sprint because I know if I don't have that accountable word count sprint in front of my face, I will pick up my phone and go on TikTok, or I will pick up my phone to research something or do something else, or I will go pick up my phone and order another book. That's my nature. That's who I am. That's how I understand myself to be. So because I'm aware of that, I can hold myself better accountable. I can do little tips and tricks so I can make sure that I'm writing. It's not that I hate writing. It's not that I don't want to write. It's the actual complete opposite. It's that I really want to do it. However, I get really distracted because, like I said, we live in a very highly digital world. We live in a world where we have so many distractions and so many things. And I have multi-passions, so I have a lot of things that I like to do. Although writing and reading are always going to be my number one passion, it's not the only thing I do in my days because I need to sustain myself. I need to find ways to make more money. I need to find more streams. So you guys know already, I have YouTube accounts, I have TikTok accounts, I have Instagram accounts, I have blogs, I have all these things that I need to maintain, because if I don't maintain them, then I won't be able to write more and more and read more and more in my future. That's how I think about it. But then the moments where I set out to write every single day, to be accountable every single day, best be sure that I'm going to write that half an hour that I set aside in the morning or half an hour I set aside at nighttime. Sometimes I split the routine, Don't be afraid to split around the routine and work around your schedule. Like, you just need to prioritize the writing. You need to hold yourself accountable. Other ways to hold yourself accountable is to announce it online or announce it to your friends and family. Like, I'm going to write a novel in the next 3 months. And note that you're saying I'm going to, not I want to. So you're going to do it. You have to do it. So there's that difference. You're going to. So basically you have to do it because you are holding yourself accountable and you're telling other people. And the other way that you can hold yourself accountable is by having a tracker. I track everything I do, especially writing. So I track every day to see what I write, where I write, how many words I write. So if I write poetry, if I write fiction, if I write nonfiction, then I get to see what needs more work the next week or the next month. So tracking also helps. If you have goals, you need to be tracking them if you want to be on the path to success, if you want to be on the path of actually accomplishing those goals. That's the one thing that I think that can really help you keep accountable, because the moment where I stop tracking, I stop caring, or I stop looking at it, or I stop seeing the reality. I might think, oh, I haven't written maybe in like a week, but it's actually 2 weeks, or I haven't written that much last time, but I actually wrote even less, or oh, I'm gonna write that project next week, and then next week turns into 3 weeks from now, and then etc. It's like a never-ending loop. So that's why tracking can also help you keep accountable, telling other people, announcing it online. So just keep yourself accountable and you're gonna get your writing done. So that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the ways on how to make more time for writing. I hope this was at least helpful, or at least I hope it was a refresher for you. If you have any tips and tricks, feel free to share them down below. I would love to hear them. As always, all my links and everything I talk about will be linked down below. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I would absolutely love to have you here. All writers and newbie writers and non-writers even are more than welcome on this channel. If it inspires you, if it helps you, if you like it, if you like me, who knows? If you do, I'm so happy. So welcome to the family. And as always, new writing tips and motivation videos on Wednesday and Fridays, as well as other videos that go about on my channel. So writing vlogs and etc. So don't forget to enjoy your journey to writing, and I'll see you on the next writing video. Bye!